Right, welcome back to the program. In case you're just joining us, it's time for our interview. At the beginning of the program, I did say I'll be looking at the eNaira as, in fact, it will soon be launched. So I think we're counting down. So it's not proposed anymore. But for us to understand the CBN's eNaira, I have my guest with me here. She is seated at the table. What a way to start the week for me. Having a woman on the seat. I think I've broken a record on a Monday morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Nancy.
Rakiya Muhammed is the Director, Information Technology Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria. She will make us understand the CBN's eNaira. You know, when the CBN said it's launching this digital currency, you know, some months ago, I did some research myself, and I was able to understand that about 81 countries are trying to develop CBDCs, that central bank digital currencies. They are exploring the launch. Some are in pilot phases, some are still researching, studying, and all of that. But there are 5 countries that have adopted the e-currency, so the digital currency, and most of them in the Caribbean. Speak to our audience, what exactly is CBN's eNaira? Make our audience understand that. And is the eNaira, the Nigerian format of the eNaira, is it the same that is being adopted in the Caribbean, just like St. Kitts, Barbados, and Bahamas, and co?
All right, thank you, Nancy. All right, so you are right. Actually, about 85 central banks are exploring in one stage or the other. And you're also right that about 5 Caribbean countries have already launched the currency. eNaira is a central bank digital currency, just like other central banks. So there are various kinds of designs for the eNaira. Some are doing retail, some are doing wholesale. Essentially, it is a digital representation of cash as we have it. So your Naira is physical, you feel it, you hold it, you put it in a physical wallet. The eNaira would be digital. So just like you have money in your bank account, you can go to the internet and make transfers. You will now have the equivalent of the Nigerian Naira in this form that you will be able to buy and sell and conduct transactions on. And there are various forms of designs for the eNaira. What we have chosen, we are using the digital distributed ledger technology on which the eNaira will run. So that gives us a lot of comfort around security because it employs the use of cryptography, which is basically masking the data so people are not able to see it without having to unwind the technology itself. And yes, in many ways, it is the same as the ones that have been launched in the other Caribbean countries. For instance, we're employing the use of digital identity. So we can tie the identity of the person to the transactions he or she performs on the digital ledger itself. We're also using a 2-tier approach in such a way that we are using our financial institutions, and of course, you know, we have a very matured payment landscape in Nigeria, and I think more mature than most countries in the world. In fact, Nigeria has about the 6th most advanced payment system in the world. So ours is even easier. We're just leveraging on those infrastructure, and we're carrying all our stakeholders, including the financial institutions, the fintechs, and other players along on this journey. So we're using them to distribute the Naira to the public while we retain our role as regulator, as the mentors, and we will now be looking at regulating the landscape and building a platform where innovation can thrive.
Did I hear you say as the minters?
Yes. So even now, we mint the physical currency.
Yes.
So you will do the same kind of activity on the ledger. It's not the kind of minting that takes a lot of electricity that you must have read about. So we will issue the eNaira if you like, because it's only Central Bank of Nigeria that can issue the Naira. So it doesn't have to involve all the other activities that usually consume that huge amount of electricity you hear about.
Mm. Is it the same as mined? Since
yes, you mine. Okay, so fine. Okay. So in physical world, you use minting. Mm. In digital world, you use mines. So they are synonymous in this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the eNaira, is it a cryptocurrency, like some people have asked? Or some people don't understand. Is it a cryptocurrency?
No. So eNaira is not a cryptocurrency. eNaira is going to be issued by a Nigerian central bank. Therefore, it will be a legal tender. which means if I want to buy anything with eNaira, you are bound to accept it because it's a legal entity in the country. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is cryptocurrency like Bitcoin now, is private money. Some people say it's private asset. Whatever it is you think it is money created by a group of people. So it's private, it's an individual kind of decision. But the eNaira is like your cash. It's going to be continue to be a unit of account. It's going to facilitate exchange, and it's going to be a legal tender. So it's not like a cryptocurrency in that sense.
So about for those that have said, especially some areas in the media, that your partner, Bits Incorporation, is the one that will be making the eNaira. Is that true?
No, that's not correct. So Bit Incorporated, they are the people who have the technology. And technology means layering the technology on top of the blockchain. So they facilitate our ability to do the eNaira. But the issuance, the distribution and everything, CBN is in total control. That their work stops at providing the intellectual property to enable that. That's what they do.
Okay, I'll come to the issue of the Bits Incorporated later, because the governor of the central bank announced on Friday why Bits Inc. was chosen and all of that. We'll come back to that in a bit. But you mentioned earlier that in the launch of this eNaira, that the CBN have engaged or would engage stakeholders such as fintechs and all of that. Some people are also saying, is this not a competition, so to speak, to banks already that we see that have the infrastructure? We're doing mobile money payments. We're doing some form of electronic money payments, because if I can on my phone send 5,000 naira to someone without physically handing cash to the person, that's a form of electronic money, not form.
Yes.
So,
eNaira, let me make it very clear. We're not introducing eNaira to replace any form of money in the country. eNaira, just like cash, as I will keep repeating, is going to be a direct liability of central bank. So in your bank today, when you make all those payments you are talking about, you transfer money to me using your bank account, the liability of that relies on your commercial bank. So if you have any issues, if, for instance, any bank has an issue, we stay behind the commercial bank, including NDIC, that ensures that and make sure you get your money back. In this case, your central bank is assuring you that kind of issue will not arise, and that is why people will have faith in cash, because when I give you cash, you know payment is final and is settled. So that is the way the eNaira is going to operate. It's going to just be another addition to all these ways that people use to make transactions and make payments. It's not going to replace any one of them.
The question is it compulsory for me to use eNaira when it's launched?
Yes.
And I say, must I use it if I don't want it?
You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's just an additional, an alternative way.
Fiat cash.
Exactly, to make, give you more variety that you can use. If you want to continue to use your cash, cash will still be available, and it will be for a long time. But what we have noticed globally, the trend is people are moving away from cash, and the central bank is saying, rather than let cash go away and you have no alternative, we're giving Nigerians an alternative to cash. So if you don't want to hold physical cash like it happened during the pandemic, then you can use your eNaira to conduct your transactions for your convenience.
For my convenience. How do I get the eNaira?
Right. So when we launch on October 1st, you can go to Google Store or Apple Store, download the Speed Wallet. That's what we call our wallet. And then as long as you have all the requirements, you will have the wallet installed, and you can now go through your bank, the apps you are talking about, and instruct them to transfer money from your current account, savings account, or whatever account you have to the eNaira. And you can also take cash to any bank branch and ask them to convert it to eNaira. Yes.
You talked about requirements. What are those requirements? If I go to my Google Play Store and I download the eNaira, what are the requirements that I will see?
So for We're launching for on October 1, and we will start with people who are banked, which means every single person has a BVN. That's all you need to start to start the transactions. Once you enter your BVN, it will ask you, just to confirm certain things that you had already given when you are creating your BVN, and that's it. That's all you need to start to get a wallet.
Are there launch stages? Are there launch stages?
Oh yes, as the central bank governor had said, the whole process is a journey. We're starting with people who are banked, and then we will go to people who are financially excluded. So these are people who don't have a BVN, but at least they have a telephone number. But the telephone numbers are now backed with a national identity number. So you need to have your NIN, which is the national identity number, and then you'll be able to have eNaira.
What of those that don't have?
Because that don't have NIN?
Yes, because the exercise is still going on. You know what we saw, I think, earlier this year, and all of. How about those that don't have? It makes them more financially excluded?
No, so there are not that many. So I am aware that like we have about 60 million Nigerians now with NIN, and we have another set that have submitted their needs that are waiting verification. That's quite a number. People who don't have NIN or whose NINs have not been verified will have the opportunity to use, but we have limited the amount of money they can hold on their wallet. Because you want to be able to know that it's not a bot that is downloading this wallet, it's a human being behind it, so you can be able to also do your AML and CFT verifications.
For those watching and you have questions, please, you can send them. The numbers will be on the screen shortly so that we can take your questions, because this is a big deal. And that's why we're doing it here on the program, just a few days to the launch, at least to the first stage, October 1. So you must be interested. Anything concerning money, you've got to be interested, and we're out there. Let's continue. Are there different types of wallets? Because you mentioned earlier that the speed wallet is yours. Are there different types of wallets?
Okay, so as I said, CBN is really principally providing the platform, and people will be able to create wallets and leverage on the technology we're providing. Now, but the wallets are in tiers. The first tier, which is tier 0, is for people who have a telephone number whose name has not yet been verified, and you can hold a maximum of 20,000. I mean, daily transaction of 20,000.
That's like level 1?
That's level 1. So we call it level 0.
Wallet.
Level 1 wallet.
Okay.
And
how
the
people
maximum
are taking notes?
The maximum daily balance you can keep on that kind of wallet is 120,000.
120,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have level 1. This one, you have a telephone number, and your national identity number has been validated by NIMC. You can have 50,000 transaction limit.
Okay, so the former one you called is level 0.
Level 0.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have level 2, which is that one will be for a banked customer who has a BVN. And so we have even level 1 in the bank now for mobile money operators, so that's equivalent to that. And then you can have a maximum of 450,000. And then we have level 3, where you are fully KYC'd, the banks have done verification on you, and you can have up to 5 million daily balance on your wallet. And then you have, of course, the merchants. Those have no limit, because you can go and buy as many things as possible in the shop, and you can pay with eNaira as well.
So will I be right to say we have like level 4 levels?
4 levels for the consumers.
Level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else? What else is there? One would ask, what is the smallest unit of the eNaira? Because in our fiat cash or the fiscal cash, the smallest unit is it 50? 1 kobo?
It's 1 kobo.
Yes, 1 kobo.
1 kobo,
So
yes.
there's no kobo. I don't know where people are keeping the kobos. But so what's the smallest unit of the eNaira?
Okay, so it will have the same properties of Naira. The main difference now will be there will be kobos. Oh. So you can go to a shop, you can buy something, and you can request for your change. Yes, so you can request for your change. Something like now is 20 Naira, 30 kobo. You can collect your 70 kobo back as long as you're using eNaira. That's one of the fundamental differences. So now that the physical kobos have disappeared, we're introducing them into the digital Naira.
Naira. Okay, the show has its numbers. Just send us text messages as questions, so that when we see them, we can ask in case you're confused. You don't understand what we're talking about. Now, let's talk about the issue of privacy. You know, because when we talk about digital things, a lot of people are concerned about privacy. I remember those days, oh, how far we have come. Those days about POSs, cards, and all of that. Many Nigerians will have said, no, I don't want to, I don't trust in this. But many Nigerians now can go to the ATM machines and do all of that. Security features perhaps implemented to prevent cloning and counterfeiting of the eNaira?
So natively, the digital ledger itself, the blockchain, comes with features, cryptographic features that prevents counterfeiting. So you cannot spend the same Naira after spending it. The double spend problem is already solved by design. And that's what we're leveraging on the digital ledger. Because you have this cryptography. Every single transaction is verified using cryptography. There's a certificate, and we're sure when you say transaction is coming from you, it's coming from you. And Central Bank of Nigeria, through the system, is able to verify that the money you're spending actually came from the one that was minted. You like to use minted. I like to use minted. Right, okay. And in terms of security, yes, anything that is out there in the space, you know, you have to worry about cyber security and all that. The system is specifically designed to make sure people who don't have access are not able to access the system. So it's a permissioned system. It's not like the open blockchain where everybody has access at any time and anywhere. So if, for instance, your account is with a bank and we expect the bank to have done KYC on you, the bank will only see the transaction of their customers. Now, having said that, on the ledger itself, your identity is not there. It's off the chain. Therefore, we can see the movement of money. We don't necessarily see that it's coming from you to me, no, Nancy to Rakiya and all that. People will not be able to say. So your privacy is guaranteed, just like with cash. However, the regulatory authorities will still be able to do their work in terms of anti-money laundering and counterfeiting and anti-terrorism, you know, transactions. So,
let's talk about one of the cocos of the matter, which is internet availability as well as network. Will this eNaira depend on network? Because of course you said I can go on my Google Play Store and download. What if I don't have network? Or what if I have network and I've downloaded and it hung with our palace,
yes.
You know, and the network just hung, you know, and everything just stopped. So how will that really affect it?
All right. So I would say that we have made, you know, much progress in terms of connectivity and telecommunications. As we start on October 1, yes, you will require internet to download your app, and you will require internet to maybe conduct transactions, just like you would do with your normal banking e-transactions. But as we progress, we're talking with the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. We're looking at zero-rating, you know, the e-wallet itself, so that even if you don't have data on your phone, you don't have internet, you're able to conduct these transactions. These are discussions we're having, and we hope very soon, and we will be able to do that. And then for people who are in remote places, no lights, so they use their feature phones that can hold battery much longer, we are coming up with products that will suit their own types of transactions, so that electricity, internet will not be, you know, will not cause hindrances towards the transactions of eNaira. We're very conscious of the fact that if you have cash, regardless of what happens, you are still able to conduct transactions. So that is the model we're adopting.
Especially for those that don't have smartphones.
Exactly.
Because if you have a smartphone, you can go on Google Play Store or the Apple Store and download it. But if I have those days, I think there's still Nokia 3310, all those kind of phones, you know, that are not smart. Absolutely. Can I still have?
Absolutely. So
the eNaira, have access to it?
Exactly. There will be our next batch of people we're bringing on board, and before the end of the year, they should be able to have eNaira and be able to transact even without internet, without a smartphone.
Without a smartphone.
Exactly.
What strategies have you put in place to make sure there's availability of eNaira access, especially to our rural population? I know you've said a bit of it, but I want you to, you know, hammer on that point more, because we have a lot of financially excluded people. I know the CBN has been doing quite a lot, you know, in terms of like agents banking, payment service providers and all of that. But how do the rural population have access?
Absolutely.
You know?
So as I said, at least we have, I think, over 90% of Nigerians. They have one kind of phone or another. And we're going to leverage on that. That is one. And there's also hardware wallet, where you can have the wallet in your card, in a card, and you'll be able to conduct transactions on it. And luckily, we have a wide range of agent networks through SANEF and several other initiatives central banks are doing. You would be able to walk into to those shops and be able to load your eNaira, even if you don't have a smartphone, and be able to conduct transaction on it. And we're also, you know, we're having a vision where even if you have a small kiosk in a remote village, you would be able to bring your business online because you can be able to accept eNaira. And what would that do for the economy? You will see our GDP grow. And you would see that we'll be able to get a lot more revenue for taxes, because more informal sector of the economy will come into the formal sector, and there will be a lot of visibility, you know, will increase, economic activities will increase and all that.
We're getting a message already from our viewers, and I have it here. This person is saying, how can we make payments with the eNaira? Is it via card or electronic transfer?
So for October 1st, it will be through electronic transfer. Subsequently, we will introduce the cards as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic question to ask.
Yes.
Thank you for asking that question wherever you are, wherever you send that question from. So keep those questions coming. Of course, I have the guru here. Her department is one of those putting this together. Like I said, eNaira is a big deal, especially towards payment system in Nigeria, and that's why we're doing this today on the program, just a few days to the launch. Okay, let's take another question. Will the eNaira be interest-bearing?
Interesting.
Yes.
So, so right now, cash is not interest-bearing. And when you say the eNaira is a digital representation of cash. So for now, eNaira will not be interest-bearing.
So I will not pay any interest for downloading eNaira or whatever. No hidden charges.
No hidden charges.
Okay, Nigerians, you heard it all. No hidden charges.
No hidden charges. If anything, we should be able to have cheaper way of transacting business. That's the beauty of the blockchain technology.
What if I download it and perhaps I begin to have complaints and I begin to have questions? Where do I direct those complaints to? Yeah.
So the banks will be able to answer your complaints. And just like with any other normal transaction we have, if they cannot answer, if they don't answer you, well, then we have a framework, consumer protection framework, where you can escalate to CBN.
So for those watching, you just go on their site and you get that. Do your research.
If they are financial institutions, don't give them satisfactory answer, that is. Otherwise, right now the financial institutions are setting up support desk specific for eNaira. Okay.
Another question, what's the difference between eNaira and my bank account where I transact by transfer and my debit card? Many of our viewers are sending in questions, which I think is good.
Which is good. Yeah. All right.
In case I don't remember to ask your question, good. So,
all right. So as I explained before, your bank account, your cards, they are liabilities of your commercial banks. eNaira is like cash, is backed by Central Bank of Nigeria. In terms of modus operandi, you will have a wallet just like you have your mobile app. You will still conduct transactions almost the same way. You will not see the difference much. There's no much difference in terms of what you see, but in terms of how fast the transaction goes, in terms of how safe, in terms of how cheap, you probably with time will notice some differences.
Now that you've talked about wallet, what came to my mind is, can I have more than one wallet? Because even as a woman, I have more than one wallet. Today, I can be going with a black bag, and I go with a black wallet. I put my fiscal cash. Tomorrow, I can go with a red bag. I put my cash in another wallet. So can I have more than one wallet?
So the thing is, that's totally under your control, and you know it's Nancy who has 5 wallets, and you can decide to pick which one. On the system needs to know that it's you, and we're turning it to BVN, and you can only have one BVN. So for now, you will have one wallet, 1 BVN, 1 BVN, one wallet.
One wallet. Okay,
yes.
I guess because I have 1 BVN, so I would have one wallet. I don't have 2 BVNs.
So see now.
Okay, so I needed to ask that. Are there measures to protect user wallets and eNaira holdings in the event of like theft or loss?
Yes. So as you know, with digital money, there's the public key, the private key, and these are well encrypted. We make it easier, well, like when your account on the wallet will be a simplified form of that. If people steal it, there are other things that only you know that they don't know. You would be able to get it back, you know, when you go through other processes, but they may not be able to know, unless they know everything about you that is on the wallet. Even if they steal your phone, they will not be able to transact anything.
I was coming to that because some people may lose their phones and they have that downloaded. Does that mean it's lost?
No, their money is not lost. It's still on the ledger. They can get another phone and reload, and their money will still be there. But
I think what you should do as a smart person should be go to your bank and lay your complaints
Absolutely.
very quickly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're already handling the complaints.
All right, this question is coming in. I want to know if our FX, for those of you that have domiciliary accounts, I guess, will be converted to eNaira as it's been rumored. Oh.
I'm not sure I had that rumor. And I think there was a release from Central Bank to say nobody is saying they are going to convert anything from domiciliary account to either eNaira or to cash or to anything. So your DOM account is still there unless you choose to get the dollars and convert yourself. So please, your money is safe.
Okay. How will the consumers benefit from the eNaira, that's the central bank digital currency, more than the current e-money? You know, are there advantages for me? What will the central bank use to bait me and other Nigerians? Yes, to go over to eNaira, because I do electronic money transfer already.
You are right. You are right. So the eNaira, as I said, is an addition to this basket of monies, if this basket of channels. So the eNaira is likely to be cheaper. And when you do peer-to-peer, because it's not going through a lot of infrastructure at the back end, settlement is instant. Just like I pay you cash now and you can give me those glasses of yours, if you pay me eNaira, it's final and it's settled instantly. You are not likely to have issues around, you debited my account, the person who is supposed to be credited was not credited. With time, people will come to understand how we are layering on the already existing efficient payment system to make it a lot more efficient. So the commercial money is there, it's not going to go away, it's still efficient, it satisfies a lot of our needs. We are just saying with eNaira, you even have a lot more conveniences that you could use.
It's as if this program will not end, but it will soon end because we have like less than 3 minutes to go. And I'm seeing other questions from people, of course, sending to our text messages. Please, I would like to know if it is possible to make purchases online from foreign stores with the eNaira.
Interesting. So for now, we're launching eNaira in Nigeria. If they are pricing their goods in eNaira, then I would say yes. But if they are pricing their goods in the foreign currencies, then the same situation will obtain, you know. Okay,
so when will this be for public use? Let's go over it again. When will the central bank digital currency eNaira be for public use?
It will start 1st October this year.
1st October.
12 days to go.
12 days, that's why we're doing it. So you have to, you know, be attentive. So a bank account will be a prerequisite to access the eNaira?
Yes, for 1st October.
For 1st October. Would individuals and companies also hold accounts?
Yes, from 1st October.
Okay, so I can have an eNaira account linked to my bank account.
Yes.
Nancy Naji.
Yes.
Then my company, Nancy and Sons and Daughters Limited, would also.
Yes, you are two different legal entities.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. I wish we can't let you go, but we've got to because we've done a few minutes. I know there are many questions coming in, especially from our viewers, but keep them coming, just like you've heard her say. 12 days to the launch of CBN's eNaira. We'll continue to see how it unfolds, and we'll continue to definitely engage with them. Keep sending the messages to us. Our phone number's on the screen already. I can see it. Keep sending those messages. The one we can answer in-house, we would answer. The ones we can't, we hand it over to them, and they give us the answers, and we give to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.